Welcome back to Wild, Wise and Curious, Embracing Our Journey, where we're excited to continue the conversation around all things peri and beyond. We'll continue to explore all our stories, challenges and importantly the wisdom we learn along the way. As usual, we'd love to chat with women just like you who might like to share your own perimeno or post-menopause stories with us. We can't wait to chat with you. Today on Wild, Wise and Curious, we are welcoming Cate back. Welcome back, Cate.
Hello!
Oh, it's lovely to have you back, Kate.
Yeah, it's really good to have you back. And
it's lovely to be back. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great. And we're just going to basically hand the floor over to you to kind of give us an update on everything.
Well,
no pressure.
We kind of, we met at Barefoot, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
We did.
And we did that, I think it's one of our favourite episodes doing it.
Oh
Barefoot,
my gosh,
wasn't
absolutely
it?
was.
We absolutely
yeah.
loved it. So, and it just felt like we didn't get enough time to talk to you. So we said then, didn't we, we'd put you in for part 2. And so here we are.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be a 3 and a 4.
I hope so. When you're videoing and everybody can see how crazy we all are.
Oh my God.
That would be great.
I think so. I think that'll add to the magic of it all though, won't it? Actually seeing everyone. Yeah,
Definitely. So, well, what's been going on? Well, I'm still currently perimenopausing.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's going to end. I think I'm on day 43 now. Okay. So who knows? It could be today, could be next week, could be never. Who knows? I'm at that stage. But I thought it would be interesting to start a conversation about reframing menopause because obviously we talk about all the time how difficult it is, like what all the horrible things are, and I think globally, certainly in the UK, it's seen as a kind of negative thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry about the background noise, by the way. There's some roofers, if you can hear that. But it's seen as a negative thing, and I think a lot of that is to do with how it feels a lot of the time for us. It's fucking hard sometimes, but I think it's really important to understand some of the reasons why that might be the case and looking at it from a more sacred spiritual point of view. So if we look at go way back in time, the menopause, like menopausal women were often the witches that were burnt. Obviously, they were younger. Men and women were, and children and everything else. But a lot of the women that were, died in the witch trials were of menopause age or similar. And I think a lot of the reason for that could be, and obviously this is not a scientific or historical kind of fact, but from my point of view, it could be that those women, they were the healers, they were the oracles of that time. Yeah. They were the women who had gone through all of those stages of life and were able to heal people and help people and be that energy within their community, which then kind of led them to be seen as witches for the men at the time who wanted to get more control. So if you look at it from sort of coming from that perspective and realise that actually whilst we have difficult things to go through and challenges to face during menopause and perimenopause, all the physical stuff and the mental stuff and the emotional stuff, it can be really hard. If we can try and sit in the energy that actually the reason that those things are happening is because we are stepping into our power and remembering things that we have forgotten, I think it can give you a real a way of feeling more in control of what's happening to you, and also a way of allowing what's happening to flow more easily than trying to fight it. Because I do think a lot of us, we try and fight the brain fog, I'm trying to fight it, the fatigue, I'm trying to fight it, there's a lot of resistance in all of the things that we try and do to feel like we did, and the bottom line is we're not going to feel like we did. But there's a reason for that. So I just thought it might be interesting to have a conversation about that, really, and how women who are menopausal, we have nothing to fear anymore. We're not frightened of periods. We're not frightened of getting pregnant. We're not frightened of society because we've kind of seen a lot of it. We're not frightened of judgment because we've had a lot of it. We're not frightened of relationships because we've had experiences that throughout our lives that cover most things. We're not frightened of having children, not having children, because we've already done it. All the things that women, younger women, can worry about and be anxious about and be fearful about, we're not fucking frightened of it anymore because we've done it, seen it, or not done it and seen it and experienced it. So when a woman isn't frightened, what does she do? She's just unapologetically herself, which means she steps into her power, which means that she is something to be feared. And I think that's what's happened. Like, menopause is something to be feared because it's fucking powerful.
Yes.
So what's a really good way of trying to control women who are no longer frightened? Making them frightened of the thing that makes them no longer frightened. Does that make sense?
That makes every ounce of sense. Every inch of ounce. That makes all kinds of sense. All kinds of sense. We definitely need to reframe it.
And I just think it's really interesting that, you know, if we reframed the way that we look at menopause into, I'm not frightened of getting pregnant anymore. I'm not frightened of my body anymore, no matter how it looks. I'm not frightened of people anymore, or society, or what anybody thinks, or, you know, and then you step back into remembering who the fuck you are. And a lot of my work, no, not a lot of my work, all of my work is centered on helping women remember who they are. It's not teaching women how to be. It's about helping them tap into their core, into their soul, and remember who they are. And we are all different, but equally we all have the same power within us. And I think menopause is the culmination of that. It's like the remembering of every part of yourself, the child part, the mother part, all of it. It's all there, that, you know, and it all comes together. And when you remember those things and you're not frightened of all the other things that you may have been frightened out throughout your whole life, I mean, how fucking powerful is that?
Indeed.
Oh.
And I think as well, something that's been really alive for me over the last few weeks is the fact that we're all still trying to work in this way of like getting as much done in the day as we possibly can, and then we're having to deal with all the other stuff that life throws at us and deal with menopause. And it just feels like for me it's just like, okay, everything needs to be done differently now, and I need to work out what that is. And that's 100%. what I'm really feeling quite a lot at the moment.
Yeah. I think a lot of things need to be done differently, don't they? And we do need to reframe it. I'm doing, through my research I'm doing at uni, I'm looking at writing a script that, it talks about perimenopause, and it talks about it from, like, so somebody who was going through it wouldn't necessarily watch a menopause program if they didn't know that they were what they were experiencing, because I always hop back to my own experience. So the idea is I write something that's a bit centred around the mental health side of perimenopause, but it's not. This is a menopause programme, because I want anyone to kind of watch it, and then later on you'll sort of figure things out. But I also want that to be about reclaiming the wild woman and like harking back and reframing this whole time, because, you know, I mean, we're just finding that it's actually really quite magical. When fun. And fun. Yeah. And saying yes to the things that you actually want to do, and no to the things that you don't want to do, because you haven't got to people please every single person anymore. You've not got to be the person who rocks up at the school gate and is like, oh, hello. Or you can just be like yourself and step back into your power and do the things that align with you, as well as obviously at the moment still having to juggle working and those sorts of things. But I think the more you can step into your power, the better it feels.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting, like you just said, you don't have to, be that person at the school gates, and you don't have to people please anymore. But what's interesting is you never had to.
No, but I guess it's the conditioning, isn't
when
it?
we're younger, we
Yeah.
think we do.
Yeah,
And
we do.
I think that encapsulates my point perfectly, because when we get to this stage of our lives, we actually understand that I'm not frightened of that anymore.
No.
Like, I don't need to be that anymore. I can be whoever I want to be, and it is absolutely fucking fine.
Yeah.
And if only we had that throughout the whole thing.
Oh.
I mean, like, how amazing would that be? And some women do, very rarely though. And I guess men as well. I think it's the same for men, but obviously we're talking about women. But I just think, you get to this age and you remember who you are, and whatever that looks like is absolutely fine. And like you say, just stepping back into that power and not being frightened of upsetting people or wearing the wrong thing, being overdressed, even little things like that, being overdressed. Am I overdressed? Am I underdressed? The amount of times I've gone to something and gone, oh my God, I'm should I be wearing something different? Are these shoes all right? Like, for fuck's sake, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Well, I think also there's an element of understanding that everybody else is so worried about what they're thinking. They don't give a shit anyway.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, I think there's an element of like, actually, no one really does give a shit about what we're doing. So let's just go and do it anyway. Let's do the thing that we want to do, because no one really cares.
No, and even like taking it on like at work. So some of the things I do at work is like marketing and bits and pieces. So creating things. But what we're doing is trying to tell the story differently. Rather than going and following a certain way that everybody else does, we're like, let's go story driven. Let's talk about the stories. Let's talk about the stuff that actually we want to talk about, and kind of sort of align more with how you want to do things. And if somebody goes, oh no, we need it to stay in this statistical order, it's got to be, whatever it's got to be, just actually challenging it and just saying, no, well, can't we try things differently? Can't we do things differently? Because there's got to be a different way to do so many things.
Yeah, absolutely. And stories are powerful.
Oh my God, we're learning that all the time.
Yeah, stories are so powerful. I mean, if you think about it logically, even this, if it wasn't for your story, and both of you, if your stories didn't exist, this podcast wouldn't be here.
No.
Like, you wouldn't be helping the women that you were. And it's because of your own personal story that women are engaging and interested and want to know, and you're getting so much traction with what you're doing because you're storytelling. This is a story.
Yes.
And I think, there's real magic in that. And people can relate to it as well. And again, just it helps people remember. Yeah. It's not learning how to, it's remembering how to. And it's just, I just think if more women looked at menopause like a real magic key to a period of their life where everything feels so aligned.
Yeah.
I mean, how much better is that than thinking, oh God, I'm in menopause, I can't have children anymore, I'm all dried up, my face has got wrinkly, I can't lose weight, I'm tired, my joints ache, all of those things. Like, yeah, they happen, but there's beauty in those things if you can look at them a different way. You don't have to sit in that story. No. You can create a story that is much more powerful and much more magnetic and much more magical, and isn't that a much better way to do it?
Oh my God,
it's seeing it as more than a cause of symptoms, isn't it? It's a transition. It's a new part. It's a new part of life.
It's like a rite of passage.
It feels.
Right?
It is a rite of passage.
Sorry. Stole a word.
Yeah, no, I actually do think it is. It's a rite of passage. I feel more myself now than I have ever done in my entire life. And that's because I've got time and space to be able to do that now. I'm not having to do all this other stuff that I literally had to do. But
Yeah.
I think I certainly feel like it's the best time ever.
Oh, I do as well. I think because you're unapologetically yourself, aren't you? And
You are.
it almost feels like every day. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There are days where, like, you know, I'll wake up in the morning, the house is a shithole. When I come downstairs and I've still got to pack lunches and get uniforms ironed, and I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? This is so shit. But then literally, you know, an hour later, I'm listening to whatever I'm listening to, and I'm like, yeah, but this is the best time, because I can walk away from that feeling of like overwhelm and just then remember the fact that actually I'm pretty bloody happy with where I am right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's only growing the more you remember.
Yeah. 100%.
And it's not like you go and remember, oh, I've got to remember a certain thing. It's almost like, I don't know, you feel it in your gut and it rises through your chest, doesn't it? And you can't even say, I've remembered that today. It's just a feeling.
No, I feel like it's a shedding. That's what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm shedding all of those conditions that have been put onto me since childhood. Through, you know, conditioning of society and like all these things that we are told as women that we are. And we accept them sometimes as part of our own story. And then it's like, I feel like now is it what you're saying with remembering. I feel like it is that I'm shedding all that and trying to find out who I am underneath. Because actually, you know, all of those things I've been told I am, actually I'm not. I've realised I'm not. And that's been actually quite transformative for me at this time of life.
Yeah, it's definitely transformative. And I think, you know, like you say, the shedding of those societal conditions and even like you can have the best family, like childhood family life ever. You can have grown up in the most nurturing, loving, wonderful family life and still have conditions put on you by your parents that they didn't realise they were doing and you didn't realise were happening. I mean, it's not a denotation of like a bad childhood. It's just the way that it is. And, you know, that comes from generation on generation on generation. And kind of, I feel like this time, the time that a woman is, you know, stepping away from the mother energy into the crone energy is the time that she understands what's happened to her and how she's seen herself and how experiences and expectations have shaped who she is and whether she wants to keep those or not. Because ultimately it's, you know, we carry those and we own them, like you said, those stories about ourselves, and you just think, actually, that's not fucking true. Like, that's not who I am. And I just think it's really interesting that, you know, you get to this time of life and all of a sudden you're like, actually, no, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. And it is transformative, and I love it. I love it. Do you know, I loved my 50th birthday. I had the best time. And it was, I just feel like I've stepped into, like you said, this era of, this new era of like this is powerful.
It is.
And I think for the first time in my life I feel powerful. I've never felt that until kind of maybe the last, if I'm really honest, how long? Maybe the last 5 years, but more so in the last 2. You know, I've known that the work that I do is needed. I've known that the work that I do is powerful and great, but I've never felt powerful in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Whereas now I do feel that. I'm not ashamed to say that either, because I think there's a lot of shame that goes on with women before this age, that even in the little things, like, you know, like I said, even clothes, like, I can't wear that because, like, even just down to those things. But especially in the bigger things, you know, my work, like that, I don't care what anybody else thinks now. I know what it is. I know what I do is necessary. I know it's powerful and I know there's power behind it. And that comes from me stepping into this period of my life. And I think that crone energy that I definitely feel rising and kind of unearthing is really, really largely responsible for me feeling that power. And what is not to love about that, quite frankly?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's great.
But I think also though, Kate, and I don't know how you feel, but it's also having time and space with that, because like I really do feel that if you've not got time and space to kind of absorb it, process it, like let the magic happen, then it's almost like you could miss some of it. So if you're like constantly on the go and you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing the other, and then you don't really have any space to kind of let it all sit and I want to say fester, but I don't mean fester. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I mean fester in a positive way.
Ruminate.
Yeah. Ruminate. That's
ruminate.
it.
Yeah. Like and feel. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Feel like it.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I do. It's making space for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like, so even when you are really busy, because, you know, life's been really busy. You know, I found for me personally, life has been crazy busy, especially the last few months.
Yeah.
But because I think I was already aware of this magic and this unfolding and this shedding and everything already, I've just been really conscious to still make sure that I'm filling my cup with the things that help that to evolve. But what I'm getting from what you're saying, Lou, is that, you know, if you're kind of living in the world and you're kind of, your head is in, you get up, you feed kids, you get yourself fed, you get showered and changed, you go to work, you come home, you cook the tea, you watch TV, you go to bed, you wake up the next day and do it all again. You kind of almost, you know, people might miss that kind of
those
magic.
little bits
Is that
of
what you mean?
moment. Yes, absolutely. What
That's
I mean.
what
Yeah.
So
thank you for being my translator.
that's all right. You translate for me. So it is. It's almost like, it's great if you're a person who's feeling this shedding and all these wonderful things. But what if you're stuck in that sort of other cycle where at the moment you kind of you sort of approaching 50 or whatever, because like you, Kate, we've had, this year has been our 50th, as you know, and we've just done all kinds of wonderful magical things, and that's helped to advance.
I can't even name all the magical things.
I can't even remember all the things, but I know they were great.
Brilliant 50th year.
Yeah, we have. We really have. But, you know, for people kind of, I don't know, would you have any kind of guidance or thoughts for people out there that might feel that they might be approaching 50 or post 50 or in that same sort of era, age group, but maybe they're not feeling any those shifts, or maybe they're still concentrating on it being symptoms instead of, I don't know, you know.
And I think, I think it's one of those things that I think part of the process for a lot of women is that niggle that you get, like there has to be more. And I think for a lot of women approaching perimenopause or going into this era, there is that niggle, and it's difficult because there are going to be a lot of women who don't recognise the niggle, and they carry on with the routine that they're in, and they are shut down really to even thinking about what that might mean. And that's okay, that's their journey. There's no right or wrong. And I don't think, personally, I don't think there's anything that can unlock that for somebody who isn't aware that it needs unlocking. But if there are women who are questioning that, who are in that routine and thinking, sorry, something's got to give, like there must be more than this. What am I going to do with this part of my life? Or like that little niggle that you feel, that is the key to unlocking the rest of it. So I think if you're listening to this and you're in this sort of transition, you're just entering this transitional phase and you're questioning questioning things is the big key. And if you're in there and you're starting to question things of what feels good, what doesn't, why do things feel different, what is it that I'm looking for, I don't know who I am anymore, then listen to more stuff like this. Like, find women of the same age and hear what they've got to say. Like, do your own exploring, message people, like follow accounts on Instagram or wherever, listen to podcasts, watch videos, whatever it is that you can do that helps you further your questioning and get some answers. And just because we quite often resonate with each other, there'll be people out there where you're thinking, I feel this way about a certain situation in my life right now, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know what to do, and I don't understand it. And then you'll listen to something and you'll go, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I fucking feel. And what that does is it helps us to realise we're not on our own.
Yeah.
And that actually this is normal. This is a normal thing for women our age to go through, and that you don't have to be on your own. And then what that does is it helps you reach out to people and listen to more things, and you evolve and you grow, and then you find the people that can help you unlock the bits of yourself that you want to remember. And that might be through spiritual practice, it might not. It can look hundreds of different ways. But I think, sorry, the dog's just heard somebody at the door. Oh my God.
Is that a dog behind you?
The dogs are with me, yeah. And somebody's just knocked on the door, and he's like, "Who's that?" So yeah, I've lost my train of thought now. But you then sort of gravitate to the people that can help you in whatever way you want help. And that might be somebody like me who, runs circles and does coaching and from a spiritual perspective, tapping into your soul and what you desire now, because desire is huge. And it could be that you just want to tap into people who are more practical and less spiritual. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you understand what it is you desire right now and how to unlock those for yourself, how to remember what it is that you want to remember. So I would just say, find the people that you are drawn to, listen to them, learn from them, resonate with people, and just follow that little rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And stuff like this, your podcast, and this is why it's so important, because that's what people do. You have so many guests on, and we're all different. So somebody could listen to this podcast and be like, oh my God, yeah, I love this. And somebody could listen to it and be like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
But
that's the whole fucking point.
Yeah.
Like, the women that need to remember this sort of thing that we're talking about will resonate, and the women that need to remember something different will resonate with another episode that you do. And it doesn't matter either or. It's just finding the people that help you unlock that within yourself.
Absolutely.
And that sounds like because you walk into a room sometimes and you naturally feel like you gravitate to certain people, don't you? Or like when we met you at Barefoot, we were just like, we just wanted to snort.
Oh
my God, exactly. We just wanted to move into the tent with you. Do you know what I mean? And just have major downloads of like life and stuff.
But you know what was really weird though, because what you were saying about being drawn to people, I don't know how I'd seen, but I knew that you were going to be at Barefoot, and I booked tickets. And we'd never met before, but I was so drawn to your energy, and it's almost like I knew we were all going to be friends. And so I booked. I don't know if you remember.
No, because you booked for me and you, didn't you? And said, I've booked your tickets.
I booked it, and I just thought I've got to book it now, because what if she sells out and we don't get to see her? Because I felt this need to book in with you, because I felt like it. And isn't that bizarre? And I found that a lot actually when I've listened to my intuition. it's pretty much guided me to where I need to be, and and magical things have happened because of it.
And do you think that's become stronger as
absolutely.
you've hit this midlife? It's almost like that's going to be my guidance now, rather than listening to what somebody else tells me is the way to go.
I absolutely
definitely
feel that now.
Yeah, I feel it now so much more.
And I think that happens because you're not frightened of what you're listening to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think before you might have those little thoughts, but you're kind of like, well, yeah, but what if I'm wrong? And what if this? And what if that? And what if the other? And what if the sky falls in? Yeah. Whereas you get to this age and you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. We'll see.
I'm being told to do this, so I need to do it.
I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What's the worst that'll happen?
What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
You make some blooming great friends. It's well done on your intuition.
Thank you
for introducing us together.
I knew we were going to be friends. It's bizarre though, but I've only literally just thought about that. I was so drawn to. I think I must have just seen something on your Facebook, or I don't even know where I saw you, but I saw you and I thought, oh, we need to go and see her.
Yeah, it was such a lovely experience. The circle.
I just loved meeting both of you. It's amazing.
Could you talk a little bit about Circle, just for people who I think you spoke a little bit about it before, but just for like women who might not have listened to the other episode, so they just can get a bit of a feel about what it is all about.
Of course. I run women's circles. I do lots of different things, but at the festival I run women's circles, and basically it's a space for women to come together and sit in community that is safe and supportive and guided, and just be able to put down anything that they want to put down that maybe they feel they can't do with other people. Maybe it's just to have an hour where they feel supported rather than putting anything specific down. But I kind of guide you through a little grounding meditation, and then we talk. Anybody that wants to share something that's on their heart can do that. And it's not about advice. I think that's the biggest thing. It's not about advice. It's not about getting the answers. It's about putting stuff down that feels really heavy sometimes or feels difficult, and being heard and being held in that space, and having the healing that comes from that space being given. And sometimes that's all we need. Sometimes as women, we don't want advice. We know what we need to do. We know how we need to do it. We just need the space to go, fuck me, this is really hard. And I just want to let it out. And, 9 times out of 10, there will be tears from people just even sitting there that haven't shared, because it's just feeling that supportive energy. And I like to think it's quite magical and sacred, and
it absolutely is.
We
can attest to that.
We do all the cool magical sacred stuff, and it's nice and woo woo. And there's incense and stuff like that, but it's and I pull cards as well if people want those now, and so I love doing it. I'm currently training. I've got a new circle coming out, and I'm so excited because I'm currently training. I'll be fully qualified by January in a heart ritual, and it's very, very, it's deeply spiritual, but there's a practical element to it as well. So you have a ceramic heart, and there's a ritual where you wrap your heart in a cloth and break it, and then write on the pieces and glue it all back together, like the Japanese, what's it called? Tsunagi or something.
Yeah. I've written about that.
It's kind of based on that kind of tradition, but it's it was created by this amazing woman called Bahar, and so I'm currently training in that, and then next year I'm going to be running heart ritual circles as well, which is, I mean, they're just going to be amazing. So it's one of those things, and I do my circles online, I do them in person, and just bringing women together and giving that healing through holding space is what I'm really passionate about. So yeah, that's me, really.
Well, we'll definitely make sure we put your details on the bottom of the podcast below as well, because we had such a wonderful experience with you, both at the festival, saw you again at the Witch Festival. And just came away just feeling full up to the top. So
I think wherever we get women together in community, it's whatever happens, it is so powerful.
It is powerful. It is. It's definitely powerful.
I think as soon as women walk in and they can shed the business, leave work and emotions or not, family stuff and work and all the rest of it at the door, and they come in and then they kind of present as their kind of more vulnerable, most authentic self. That feels like the core bit, doesn't it? And I don't know, that's where the connection kind of happens, when we allow ourselves to feel a bit more vulnerable, because we're in a safe place to feel like that. Because otherwise you can just carry the shit around with you, can't you? But in those 100%. Moments you can leave them behind.
Yeah. And I think maybe on our next little next time I come on, maybe we can talk about that a bit more, because I think that we're talking about stepping into your power. But there's a way during menopause that is possible without it being very masculine. And I think for women, or for a lot of women, should I say, we have to step into our masculine a lot during our lives, especially women who have been in my situation. I've had to be mum and dad pretty much my whole life. I've had to look after myself pretty much my whole life. I've had to do the DIY. I've had to do the bins. I've had to do the kids. I've had to do, you name it, I've done it all. And there is an element of you as a woman that has to really harness that masculine energy, because it doesn't necessarily come that naturally for a lot of us. And I think there's a big difference between stepping into your power during menopause and stepping into your power in a way that allows your feminine priestess, goddess energy to flow. And I think that can be hard sometimes. I think, especially with hormones and stuff, we hear a lot about men, for example, going, oh my God, she went mental when she went through the menopause. I think a lot of that comes from, obviously it's physical. There's a physiology to that, and I'm not diminishing that at all. But I think some of that comes from not understanding how to process anger, frustration, and all of those feelings, sadness even, in a way that allows you to be vulnerable. Because we've had to sit in that masculine for so long and for so many things, that then all of a sudden feeling those feelings of rage and irritability and all of those things that come from hormones, you don't know how to process them, because you've not been in your vulnerable for so long.
Because you've kept the lid on everything.
Am I making sense?
You're absolutely making sense, Kate. It's that whole thing of we've had to hold our emotions in, whatever those emotions are, and there's a whole gamut of them, and we've held them in for so long because it's not been acceptable for us to let those out. So we've not been allowed time to work out how to process them and how to live with them, and
before moving on so quickly to the next thing.
And then it all seeps out. I feel like
at the same time
it just kind of seeps out of the pores, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing and how to deal with
and who
this.
I am and where I'm going and what I want to where I want to go, where I want to go.
And that for me is all part of this shedding and understanding of all my emotions. Okay, I'm feeling that now, and sitting with that and understanding that, and then kind of processing that, and one thing I was thinking about when you were just talking, Cate, was the fact that, having to be feminine and masculine a lot in this world, but also how wonderful it is when you have got like a partner that understands and it's teamwork, and like I couldn't do half this. I couldn't be doing this shedding had I not got a wonderful husband.
Amazing,
to help hold that space and be completely secure in that space, and allow me to have all these ups and downs and whatever, and how important it is for me, to be able to do this shedding, knowing that I've got this secure foundation to move from.
Yeah, which is really beautiful. And I think, there's a massive number of women, the percentage of couples that get divorced during menopause age is absolutely huge. Yeah. And some of that will definitely come from the kind of disparity between the two sides understanding what's happening. Yes. And that's really sad. Yeah. It's great. I love that you have that support and that understanding and the space to work through what it is and be able to be vulnerable with your partner. It's beautiful, and I wish that for everybody. I haven't had that up until this point, but as you both know, that's changed slightly recently. So it's nice to be able to be kind of seen and held in a way that allows you to just fall into your feminine and understanding what's happening to you. But I definitely think it's a bigger conversation we could have at a different day. There's so much.
Absolutely, part 3. I can see this being like every now and again. Then we'll have 4, then we'll have 5. But there is so much to unpick, though. Oh my gosh!
Perhaps we just need to do a whole new podcast.
Well, maybe we do. Yeah. But there is, and I think that's the thing that for me personally, like the whole menopause journey was like falling into a shit show for quite a long time. But then this kind of slow rising and sort of finding out who I am and what makes me happy, what makes me tick, who I really want to be, getting rid of all the dross and crappy stuff that I don't want to do. Obviously, there's still the little bits that are there that pay the bills at the,
Well, of course,
And there's all these different things. But I feel like, yes, it was hard. Yes, it was really hard. And then it got sort of like lighter and lighter and easier. You still get the things thrown back, don't you? Where you have days where you remember the fog or you don't remember the fog, and you ache and you have all these different things going on. But actually, I wouldn't want to go back now. Probably, I don't know, I feel the most like, I think you said it earlier and you sort of like touched on it as well, Cate. I feel the most sort of myself than I ever have done.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
So while I don't want to go back and learn it all again, I equally wouldn't want to go back to my 20s.
No.
I'm like, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same. And last year, at Christmas last year, actually, I indulged myself in the act of sologamy, which is marrying yourself. Oh. And so I bought myself an engagement ring, and I kind of did my own little ritual where I bought this gift for myself for Christmas, and I did a ritual and married myself effectively. I was like, I fully accept who I am. I'm really happy with my life. I really love who I am, and blah 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 blah. And I'd read loads of kind of information on how just the ritualized nature of that can really cement within you the acceptance and the understanding and the remembering of who you really truly are, and then great things happen from there. And it just so happens that as a result of kind of really falling into that and really accepting who I am, I've now met somebody who I feel feels the same about me. Like, he accepts me for who I am and loves me for who I am, and I'm not sure that would have happened without the menopause or bits happening for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
I am the same as you. I wouldn't want to go back. No. I don't want to go back to my 20s, 30s, 40s. I love where I am. Yeah. And I'm really excited about this part of my life as well.
Oh my God, well, we've got life again, right? That's the way I see it. I kind of like, okay, we're halfway through, so maybe another 50 years. Imagine all the magical shit we can pack in 50 years.
I know.
Fucking hell. I'm so excited.
I am. I've told the kids I'm not going to cark it until I'm 104. Yeah. So they're all terrified.
At this rate, we'll be still doing this podcast. Won't we? We'll be on. Oh, and this is the 967th episode
with the crones.
Can you imagine? I'll be going. We'll be really cranky and horrible by then, and I'll be going, "Oh, shut up, Lou."
You said that in episode 30.
Yeah, and you'll be like, "Oh, fuck off, Kate."
Oh my gosh, I can see it.
Oh, how funny. So Michelle will be sitting there going, "What are you two talking about?"
Put your hearing aid on.
Yeah, so funny. Brilliant.
Oh my God. Wow. I'm up for that meeting. Yeah. I'm up for that episode.
That just seems a really great place to stop it, to be fair.
Oh, let's do it.
Oh, magic. Well, thank you ever so much for coming on today, Kate. You are wonderful. Thank you for having me. Everyone should go and chat to Kate. She's brilliant.
I just love your energy, Kate. We love you.
Oh, absolutely do.
Can't wait to see you in person again soon.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're going to meet up, aren't we? But I'm booked in for some festivals next year, so hopefully we'll see each other there as well.
Yeah, definitely. And we definitely need to do another festival podcast.
Yeah. That was so much fun.
Oh, that was great. That was.
It's just so cool, and like having all the music in the background and like everything we were talking about, and in the setting in your tent with. All the incense and crystal.
We had the best time, didn't we?
We did
at the festival.
Yeah.
It was great. Fun. It really is. It's a good one to go to.
I love you both. Thank you.
Love you. You too.
Thank you so much for coming on again.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Wild, Wise and Curious. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, feel free to email us at info@wildwiseandcurious.com or reach out on our socials at wild_wise_and_curious. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Stay curious and we'll see you next time.